Good afternoon, South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. My name is Balisa Dembe, and this is Afternoon Express. Now, it is a Tuesday cook-along, but today we're doing things a little differently. If you love yourself some carbs, specifically bread, listen up closely because we've got some incredible recipes up our sleeves. But I can't do this alone. We've got our resident chef and resident foodie, with Chef Tumi in the loft. Tumi, how are you doing today?
I am doing absolutely well, Balisa, today, because we're not just cooking along, we are baking along with an amazing chef who's going to be showing us tips and tricks, but I don't want to say too much. Let's just actually give it over to you.
Absolutely. The incredible guest chef for today is Chef Francois. Now, welcome to the loft, Chef.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Now, you definitely are going to be putting us through our paces when it comes to baking. And I'm not much of a baker. In fact, I have never baked a loaf of bread in my life. So you definitely have to go slow today.
Sure, no problem.
So what will we be making?
So today we'll be making just a simple bread dough, which is literally just 4 ingredients. And with that, you can make so much amazing things about it.
Oh, very much looking forward to that. Mzansi, head over to our Afternoon Express website to get the full recipe list and ingredients to make this incredible, fresh, doughy, carbolicious bread at home. Okay, so what do we need to start off?
So, firstly, of course, your flour. Then you have your salt, your yeast, and your water. So basically, we're going to start off adding your water into the flour. So we can just basically, you can just chuck it in. So basically, you don't need to play around and leave a bit. We're just going to go straight into that.
Okay.
So after that, we're going to pour in our yeast.
Okay.
There you go. So obviously our salt we'll put in a little bit later. That normally sometimes kills these. Depends on what type of salt you use. Sea salt's more hecticer than like desert salt.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, Tumi, last week we heard the exact same thing from Chef Sipiel. She also said that sea salt, you know, has all that flavor.
Exactly. No, absolutely. So you can either go messy with your hand, or you can just mix everything with a wooden spoon. So take a wooden spoon, we're just going to mix all the ingredients together.
Now, Chef, we're making a bread dough, and I know with a lot of times when people make bread dough, there's always either sugar, because they say the sugar works with the yeast, because the yeast needs something to eat, to chow on. But now we've got salt and there's no sugar. Is there a specific reason why not in this recipe?
Yeah, I mean, the flours these days we got so many protein in it, and so it actually helps it like just get better than throwing in some sugar. It makes sense. So basically you can add sugar, but flour, water, salt and yeast, it does a trick.
Okay.
And these days people don't like sugar in their bread.
Yeah.
Sugars are for the toppings.
Okay, that's interesting.
So now everything is going to start getting together.
Okay.
Like this is always like the messy part.
Yeah, I'm already starting to dust off my pads. Okay, I love it.
Okay, so once like everything is just like getting there, you're going to start taking it off with your hand.
Okay.
Now things are going to get slightly messy. I've got to mention, you can obviously use your lukewarm water, or you can use cold water. It's going to take a longer process to make it. So there's nothing wrong using lukewarm water. It just activates the yeast much more quicker.
Okay.
Cool. So now you're going to basically just want to fold it in from the sides, so that it basically just all comes together.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people say, standing here like for 7,000 hours kneading. So they call this basically autolyze. So autolyze is you just mix everything together, and you have to have patience. So the dough, which is your water, salt and yeast, will basically form and knead your dough for you.
Okay.
Which makes sense, yeah.
All right, Chef, what dough are we using today? Because I know that there's a difference between bread flour, cake flour, self-raising flour. Yes. What is the trick to making sure, what flour do you want to be using for this kind of dough?
You want to use a strong flour, which is your bread flour.
Okay.
It's much more coarse than your cake flour. So the cake flour and bread flour is normally exactly the same. It's just the one is more coarse.
Okay.
Than cake flour. Okay. And it's heavy, strong in protein, and the hydration is very high. So that means, it's like nice and bready, nice and doughy, and more dense in a way.
That's so good to know. I mean, Chef, it seems like you definitely know your stuff when it comes to bread and all things bakery. Yes. Where did you get your start in baking and this passion?
I mean, it started off when I was about 12 years old. Table cleaning at a restaurant in East London. Then, work my way in, seeing the kitchen staff always working with pizza dough. And I just want to get in there, but, I was too young. I was just a cashier and a table cleaner. So when the time came, I got an opportunity to just be able to touch the dough, to feel the dough, to taste it and to play around with it. And that's when it started, when it sparked. And,
that's so funny. I mean, Chef Francois Dumi had dough, real bread dough. Some of us were playing with just Play-Doh.
I know. I know, and the fact that now something that was just a game has now become a career. You used to love it and be fascinated by it, and now you actually made a career of it, and you're making bread, these artisanal breads that look and smell amazing. I mean, if you're in the loft, South Africa, you would be taken by the smell of the fresh bread. I mean, freshly baked bread beats anything, I think.
No, absolutely. And it's, the cool thing is it's so simple. Yeah. And you can do so much. I know I said it before, but it's just like ridiculous. And
I'm absolutely here for it. And also the thing about bread that is very universal. I mean, almost in any culture you can find bread and people loving to, whether it's starter, main meal, dipping it into a soup or a sauce, or having it, mixing it up for desserts. Yeah. I love the versatility of bread.
Yeah. Breaking bread on the table, it's bringing friends, family, it sparks a conversation. It's just wonderful.
Magical.
Okay. Can I take this out onto the surface? Because I feel like this bowl must be...
So you can take it out, then you can basically just all these bits of flour that you see, you just want to evaporate and just get it done. So what I normally do is I just take one hand, pull it on the surface and then pull it up, and you just take it and go into like a circle.
Okay. And then
Sorry, you don't want to over knead it. So if everything is intact and basically all these bits of flours are in, then you are nearly done.
I'm loving this. This is so easy. I mean, Dumi, how well versed are you with making bread?
I mean, if you consider it dombolo bread, then I could say in that in that sense, I could be well versed, but not this. This is, I mean, look at the calmness in which he's doing that. I'm already thinking to myself, am I doing the right thing?
But I'm loving it. I love learning a new skill in the kitchen because that's essentially what it's all about. So right now we are almost halfway with creating this delicious bread. When we come back from the break, we're going to be finishing this off.
Yes, absolutely.
So what are we going to be up to?
So basically, we're going to do some exciting stuff, fillings, portioning, and just basically what to do with bread dough.
Okay.
And exciting stuff about it.
Very much looking forward to that. Mzansi, don't forget about social media. We all love the smell and the aroma of freshly baked bread within our households. So let us know online using that hashtag Afternoon Express. Have you ever tried to make bread yourself? Fresh bread. Coming up, Chef Francois takes us to recipe number 2.